Paris, month after month, finally, we are here together. We met about a year and a half ago on a course, how to improve our YouTube channel, and you took it upon yourself with your knowledge about financial responsibility in creating a 30-day challenge. And finally, I had the opportunity to take that challenge, and so glad today you're joining me. So first of all, we need to give ourselves a cheer to finally make this happen.
Woohoo! Nice.
Woo! So Paris, cool. Thank you so much for joining me, and welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, Sid. Appreciate it.
So one of the things for myself, I have a full-time job, and some people call it just over broke. And I also have my YouTube channel. I do product reviews, and it's so important to be organized with your financials, what you're spending, and your expense reports. And so you put together this great 30-day challenge, and some of the takeaways that I learned about it, and I look forward for you to sharing with everybody about it, is one, to, when you're setting up your taxes for work, how you can make certain adjustments to benefit more for taxes that you're paying and your income that you're making, bring more in. And also the importance of having your own business and your supplemental income, and how are you keeping organized and tracking all that. So if you can maybe share just over the next few minutes what exactly you're doing, and how people can take advantage of this great free 30-day challenge, and a little bit as well, a little appetite for what you're offering thereafter.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Sid, for having me on for a few minutes. I really appreciate you taking the course. Your feedback and you and I talking back and forth, I know that you got a lot out of it. I've been in financial services as a professional coach and counselor, advisor, financial agent for just over 20 years. And in the process of helping people really understand how to manage their money more effectively, one of the things I realized is that as I sat down with a potential client or somebody was about to meet with me, they would always have some kind of excuse about not having enough money to invest, not feeling like they were budgeting properly, not knowing where their money was going. They knew what was coming in, they didn't really know what was going out, and they didn't know if there was a positive number or negative number. Or they just had no idea what was going on. And I thought, how can I help somebody get to the point where they can really get a good hold of their money, manage it effectively, learn to live within their means, and then we could talk about maybe growing their means or maybe learning how to make more money. So the 30-day challenge is basically a video series of what I used to do when I would sit down with a client for the very first time, as I would go through and I would help them understand better ways for them to manage the money that was coming in, the money that was going out, how to make sure they were increasing the money that was coming in, and decreasing the money that was going out, and keeping track. Awareness brings change, and a lot of people they go through life and they spend here and they spend there, and before they know it, they've spent hundreds of dollars more than they should have by just spending $5 or $10 at a time. And so it's important to keep track and stay aware, and that's kind of what the 30-day challenge is designed to do, is to help you free up your cash flow, become aware of what you're spending so that you can reduce your spending, freeing up even more cash flow to be able to have a positive cash flow to then get out of debt or invest for your future. So that's basically the design of the 30-day challenge. And I made it free so that people will get a chance to get to know me, get to know my philosophy, get to know what I can bring to the table. And then hopefully they'll be excited to then hire me as a coach, or take one of my courses that has a little bit more of a cost to it or investment to it.
What I like about you is that you are very genuine, you are very sincere, and you give really good, real advice. And so for people that don't even know you from Adam, I think people are going to say, you know what, I can relate to Paris. He gives great advice. I look at your YouTube channel and read those comments. People really like the advice you give. And not just saying that because you and I have become friends, although we haven't met in person yet, but really I think once you see Paris and see his videos and follow him on his other social media, you really see how genuine it is. So could you just maybe just show people a little snippet of the 30-day challenge? That would be great.
Yeah, you bet. Let me share the screen here real quick, and hopefully it's working. So my website is financialselfreliance.net. And I believe in self-reliance versus financial independence, because you can be given a ton of money and you're independent. But if you don't have the skills to be able to recreate or build that money again, or get that money on your own, if you get a ton of money and then all of a sudden it's gone, and you don't have the skills to rebuild it, you're not self-reliant. So self-reliance to me is a little different than financial independence. So that's why I created financial self-reliance, to give you the mindsets and the skill sets to create wealth. And so this is the front page here. If you scroll down on the front page, you'll come to where it says our 30-day challenge. You click the Learn More button here, and then it brings you to this page, which teaches you a little bit about what the course is. It's a positive cash flow, really helping you understand the most important step in obtaining wealth or building your financial independence or future is to have positive cash flow. You have to have more money coming in than going out.
By the way, Paris, I noticed just like money building up, I could see your beard and mustache have filled out since that photo. So
yes,
like
it has. Definitely. This is the 30-day challenge. If you click your email and you hit subscribe to the list so you can keep in touch with us and stay connected, and then sign up for free. And I'll show you ways to increase your cash flow so you can get out of debt, build your savings, invest for your future. And then this is inside the course. The first lesson is for people who have a job or who are employed, like you mentioned earlier, that are on the journey of the broke, or whatever the acronym you want to use for job. Yeah, just over broke. Lesson 2 is for those folks who have a side hustle. Today, so many people have a side hustle. So many people are finding extra ways to make more money and increase their cash flow, increase their means through additional income. One of the biggest problems that I find with people is that they make a bunch more money and then they spend it right away, thinking that that's all this new money and all this influx of cash is theirs to spend, and not really preparing properly for taxes, not preparing properly for investments and for the future. And I've had a lot of people get hit hard specifically on taxes. And so my lesson 2 here is to help you. If you're self-employed or you're trying to build a side hustle, you've got to watch lesson 2 on how to really fill out the Schedule C and make sure you're planning for taxes. I've been audited several times, and every time I've done it, I've had a successful experience. So not that everybody can say that, and I hope that I don't get audited in the future, but I've been audited several times, so I kind of know a few things, and I put that in there.
Yeah, I love that story that you shared about being audited, and they actually really worked with you.
Yeah. Lesson 3 is about the last 90 days. So one of the most important things to know about your future is to know where you've come from. So if you don't know where you've been, you probably don't know where you are, and you definitely don't know where you're going. So it's important to look back over the last 90 days, take your statements, take all your not just your income statements, but also your credit card statements, your bank statements, and look at everything that you've spent money on and where you've spent that money. And then that sets you as a budget going forward. It gives you kind of a snapshot of who you are and what your habits and spending are today, right now. And the reason why I say 90 days is that sometimes you have a bill that comes up in one month and it may not come up in another month. It gives you an average. It gives you a chance to kind of say, okay, I spent this much in this category one month and this much in another month, and the average is kind of here, and that's kind of where I need to be shooting for it going forward. And that's what lesson 4 then does. It puts you down a path where you can be tracking and stay accountable to your expenses, so that when you start buying things and spending money, you're writing it down, you're staying aware of where you're going, what you're doing, so that you keep track and stay on track for your budget and your goals. I really like budgeting is kind of a bad word. I call it the B word of finance. But I like more a cash flow accountability program. So you're keeping accountable, you're tracking your cash flow so that you have the most positive cash flow possible, and you're moving forward in a positive way with your finances.
That's great. Really great 30-day challenge. And thank you for putting that together and offering it at no additional expense. And then and obviously we'll do another video and talk more about other coaching that you do. But in addition, if people are looking for one-on-one coaching, anything you can kind of share a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So I have a YouTube channel, as you shared earlier. It's Financial Self-Reliance. That's my YouTube channel. I have my website where I have the free course, and I have another course that's paid for, that's an investment that you can take to learn so much of the fundamentals of financial literacy. I go from, there's 7 modules, and each of the modules is so important to be able to learn more about. And then if you want to have some one-on-one coaching, some one-on-one time with me, there's some opportunities there as well. So just reach out to me you can come to my YouTube channel, make a comment, and I'll reach out, or you can reach me at hello@financialselfreliance.net. So I'll be happy to help in any way I can.
That's great. And any last advice? Obviously, this could be very overwhelming for people to, say, wow, this, there's a lot here Paris is sharing. Any last little bits that you can say to people? Hey, it's baby steps, and that's what's so great about the 30-day challenge.
Yeah, I really try to make it super simple. I believe in the KISS principle, keep it super simple. I know other people may have a different acronym there, but I love to keep it super simple. Number one. Number two, I have a lot of people that tell me, Paris, I already know everything about money. I already know I'm already doing fine. I'm already doing well. And another challenge that I did that's not necessarily in this challenge is this is something I would do in person with my clients or potential clients that kind of give me that grief over the phone. I'd say, look, give me an hour. If in 1 hour I can't give you more value than you for your time, then I'll pay you your hourly wage. So literally, I'll tell somebody, look, here's a $20 bill. If you make $20 an hour, I'll give you this $20 bill at the end of the hour if I haven't provided value and made your hour worthwhile. I've never had to pay a $20 bill. I've never had to pay anybody their time, because everybody who walks away from having an opportunity like the 30-day challenge to sit down for an hour has come away with greater value than when they went into that hour. So if you think you know everything about money, you may learn something new, and you may know more than I do, and that's fine. And there's people out there that do know more than I do. But the reality is we all have something to learn from someone. And I think that the 30-day challenge is a great way to set yourself up for a success with your financial future.
Well, awesome, Paris. That's great information. So glad to share this with everybody. I'll be sure to put a link in the description down below. So be sure to take on that 30-day challenge, connect with Paris. And Paris, so glad finally again. We need to give ourselves one last cheer. We made this happen.
Awesome.
So thanks again for joining me, and be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sid. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.
You bet.